just the Torah you're quoting there? No hadith, no.
Okay. Now, what happened is the Quran speaks about the Torah, Zabur, which is Psalms of David, and Injil, which is Gospel.
Yeah.
There is no name of Bible or Old Testament.
Right.
Or the Paul's writings or Acts. There's nothing like the Torah, Injil, Zabur, Injil, right? So that's so definitely. And because of, I quoted Genesis 3 and 2 to this Muslim guy.
Welcome to the Revo Report. We're inspiring faith with reason and reason with faith.
And he said that was changed. Like you said, the Torah of Moses was changed. So you blame Paul and now you're blaming Moses. So in my head stuck Torah because Moses was a later. Right?
Yes.
The original sin is from Genesis, not from any other books, right? The Old Testament and even New Testament originates there. So my head is Torah. That's why I punched the Torah. And I find it several verses. I came next month and I find, no reply. Okay. Then this is Scrolls Exhibition came, Toronto, 2009, 2010. And of course, let me visit. It's all these manuscripts that I just started learning about it. And I find out that I went there. It's a nice exhibition, amazing. Get very excited. And on the way back, I purchased this booklet. That's exactly the booklet I purchased. And then I came home and I started reading it and I could see highlights, right? I do the highlights, yellow, something interesting. Like then the page 18 of Genesis, it's talking about the Genesis. And it said, because Genesis, that whatever they find Genesis, parts of the Genesis, it said that it's like 100 years before Christ. 125 to 100 years before Christ.
Yeah.
And it said that the copies of Genesis from among the Dead Sea Scrolls are extremely similar to the traditional Hebrew text.
Wow.
And that became like an eureka moment. Like that's what I'm looking for. I believe I could find in just a booklet. I don't know. I don't think they are like Christians or Jews who wrote it. So I don't know Hebrew. I can't compare, but they have access.
Yes.
I don't have access. They did. And they look at it and they said it's extremely similar. So what I did, I started looking more into it. Now it's like Torah became more apparent for me to use. It's not because Islam contradicted the Torah. Before it contradicted the New Testament, it contradicted the Torah. So I started looking into it. And in the one meeting at the same Christian Muslim dialogue, one Muslim said to me, pointed out to me that Genesis 21 verse 14, it's talking about Ishmael being, at the time of expulsion, he was an infant. Not as the Torah said. He said, you see, the Torah, it confuses. The writer of the Torah made mistakes, but not everything from the Torah was corrected by them. So they missed some details, and these details are proving the point what we as a Muslim say, he was an infant at the time of departure. So that's what he said. And he said Genesis 21:14, and then a few other verses when said like she put him under the shrub, and God said, pick up the boy and hold it in your hands or by your hand, depends on translation. So he said basically the shoulder, it looked like she put on the shoulder, maybe, right? Shoulder, shrub, and hand. That tells us that he was an infant at the time.
Yeah. Because you're not going to put a teenager over your shoulder. And
that's obvious, right? So, okay, I came up, but that was very late in the evening. So we were already wrapping up when he make that claim. So I came to the pastor. I said, next month, I'll have a presentation. I will rebuttal that. He said, sure. So I prepared my presentation, thorough examination. I was happy about it. I print out about 4 pages, stapled them, and I make 25 copies of 4 pages each.
Wow.
To give so many, because usually I have 20 plus people are coming to our Muslims and Christians to follow up. And there was examination from the Bible about Ishmael and Isaac, how they connect, how all the timelines and everything, right? So, but nobody came next time. I mean, those people who challenged me, it was very few people. So of course I didn't raise up the question. So what I did is like, I have to wait now, I have to 1 month more to prepare, but I already know what I'm going to say. For the next 3 weeks and about 5 days, I was like rehearsing in my head. Should I say that? Let's say polish that statement of word, right? So we met on usually Tuesday night. So I think it was a Sunday night when I was, again, like 100 times already sit before the computer, against like rehearsing in my head, what should I say? How the best way to say this and that. And then suddenly a thought coming to me, read the Hadith. Before that, I spent 1 year reading the Hadith, studying the Hadith, Sahih Bukhari, even have Excel chart of my favorites, interesting stuff. I was just collecting that, right? So I've been there, okay, I've done it. Like I don't remember anything specific, but the thought came like, read the Hadith. What Hadith? Okay, now I know where to find the Hadith. I go on browser and search for what, or I have to search that story, right? Yeah. Okay, so it makes sense. So I'm searching that story of the Abraham and Ishmael and Hagar. And within the 2 minutes, I just sprang from my chair like it was another every comment, right? Then I was shocked when I saw it. And then I realized that my presentation is not good. And I take all the 44 copies and threw in a basket, garbage bin. That's it. And I was happy. For 2 days, I was like happy, waiting for that evening. That evening, that Muslim guy show up and a lot of extra Muslim guys show up.
Yeah.
With a beard and with Afghani hats and everything. Right? But when my time came, I simply asked him a question. 2 months ago, you asked me about Genesis 21:14. You use it against me as proof of your point, right?
Yeah.
I asked him, would you agree that at least this verse is not corrupt? He looked at me and said, I don't know. I was like, no, you can't say that. Either yes or no, I have to withdraw your statement 2 months ago. Will you agree this was not corrupted? Everything else might be corrupt.
Yeah.
But at least this verse, because you use it. He said, I'm sure. I said, no, you can't say that. So third time I asked him, he said, I don't know, or I'm not sure. But this time everybody like silently listened to my conversation. I don't want to give up.
Yeah.
It's very thorough. It's must yes or no.
Yes.
It's like, I don't know. Then finally one Muslim on the back, he said, okay, Alex, we agree with that. Okay, go. And I went on. And when I saw a reaction,
when you say you went on, can you explain step by step? Okay, you did this, you said this.
Okay, that's a little bit longer, but
if you could summarize some of the key. Yeah.
So in Genesis 21:14, we talk about, and what precede that, we see the whole life of Ishmael as what he was, before he was born, how the Hagar was running away from Sarah, coming back, and then she gave birth to Ishmael. He was only child of Abraham, only heir of the, so to speak, throne, and Abraham was a very wealthy man, has probably 1,000 people in his household, let's say, right? Like a servants, slaves, whatever. So until year 14, like we didn't hear about him, Ishmael, until year 13. He was 13 years old. Then God came and told Abraham to circumcise. So he circumcised him, Ishmael, himself, and all male, everybody. So, and then 1 year later, Isaac was born. So we have to remember that days, right? It's like 10, 13, he was circumcised.
Yep.
14, Isaac was born. So now Ishmael is not the only heir of the throne, but he was the firstborn.
Yeah.
It's important. Still, he will get 2/3 of the inheritance. He's wealthy. His future is amazingly good.
Yeah.
Financially, at least. And Isaac was weaned, and we talk about maybe 2-3 years old. I bet probably 3 years old. We start introducing the solid food instead of mother's milk. So Abraham make a feast for that occasion. And Sarah looked and she saw then Ishmael mock or laugh at Isaac. So she didn't find it nice. So she told Abraham, get rid of slave woman and for child, because he's not going to be inherited with Isaac. So Abraham didn't like it. That's Genesis 21. But God told Abraham, just don't worry about it. Let her go. I'll take care of that. I'll take care of him, because Ishmael, as you see, he will have a nation, 12 kings he will born, and so on, right? And hey, no problem. God said so. That's good. No problem, right? So he went to sleep. That was presumably evening that day. So Tuesday evening, he was up. He gave a bottle of water, bottle of water, and child. They departed from Canaan, which is not far from Gerar. In Genesis 20, verse 1, we talk about the Gerar area of his dwelling. So it's very close to what we know about the Gaza area. So, but west from Beersheba, we have a Beersheba, city of Beersheba, Israel. So they departed and they went in the area of wilderness of Beersheba and wandered there. They get lost, Ishmael and Hagar. And the water in the skin was gone. So she didn't refill the skin. And she brought Hagar, Ishmael over there, and she tried to find the well she'd been looking at, and there Lahai Roy, I believe. But she missed that, right? And it was way south. And then she figured out we're going to die, right? And then the angel of the Lord said, here's a well, look at it. And that well it's in Beersheba. But when you read the Hadith, it's a completely different story. In the Hadith, it's Ibrahim, as it mentioned, it's brought Hagar and Ishmael while she was suckling him. So he was 3 months old, approximately, down to Mecca, dropped them there, and moved back. Mecca has nothing there, except probably ruins of original Kaaba, which was built by maybe Adam, that some Muslims say. But there's nothing there, nobody lives there, right? And she's running between the two, Safa and Marwa, looking for help because baby's crying. There's no water down, right? Dying. And then angel came and opened up well of Zamzam. And she drank the water. And as she drank the water, she got the milk in the breasts and she fed the child. So he's definitely 3 months old or 4 months, right? And then...
Because in Genesis, then Ishmael would probably be, 16, 17 or something?
I think it's 17.
17, okay. Right. So a 17-year-old is not breastfeeding, being carried.
I think it was 13 or 14, or 5.